Not really. I'll give it my best shot. My name is Eric Shira, and I'd like to start off by saying thank you to the artists that are being exhibiting their art tonight, for sharing the stage and letting us join in, and hopefully you get a chance to look at all their awesome artwork. And tonight I am going to read from a book that I wrote that will be available this spring and summer, called Mistaken for Angels. And it's about a backpacking trip that my wife and I took on the west coast of the United States. She moved over to America, and I had a great job, and life was going to be magical. And then the big recession kicked in and kind of just crashed us, and we lost our money and kind of our place to live, and it was really tough on a brand new marriage. So out of desperation, we basically packed up backpacks and decided we were going to hitchhike to the Oregon coast and try and find a job or just get out of the town we were in. And we thought we would be gone like 2 days, and we ended up hitchhiking all over the west coast for like $30. Yeah. So anyways, so tonight I'm going to read 2 chapters from that book. And don't worry, I won't give anything away. And I apologize in advance if I seem like an agitated person in the book. I'm a nice guy, but at the time, it was a dark time, obviously, so I kind of try and get that across. And this story is actually the reason that I'm in Sweden now. So, yeah.
Welcome.
So, thank you. And it's all right with you guys, then I'll start. Starting a journey like this, we will need adequate supplies. On a limited budget, however, we'll have to pick and choose our wares carefully. Oh, by the way, sorry, our names are changed in the books. My wife's name is Sophia, my name's Joe. So, that's good. One thing Sophia and I have been completely unified in is shoes. Walking is going to be a big part of this trip, either out on the highway or out in the mountains searching for the holy grail of camping spots. If some toothless hillbilly local gives us directions to a magical site and says, "Sure, there will be waterfalls at this campsite, fruit of all types on the trees, and slow defenseless pigs perfect for making pork chops and bacon, but it's a bit of a hike," we will be prepared to get there. There will be no saying, "Damn, if only we had better footwear." Our feet are going to be able to walk many miles in sand, gravel, asphalt, off-trail, uphill, or down, and hopefully in good shape while doing so. I know right away what they need to be. I take poor care of myself for the most part, but I have the feet of a baby, so keeping them as such is going to take marrow chameleons. I had owned a pair once, and they were the best all-around shoe I have come across in these past 29 years of life. But the only place I know that is certain to carry these shoes is a store called Outdoors R Us, which is a problem for me, as I hate the people who work in this store, and most of the people that shop at it. I have a social anxiety disorder. A rough description of the disorder is that I can't stand being around assholes. And Outdoors R Us would be chock full of them. Yuppies and self-promoters from one wall to the other. And if you were capable of tuning these parasites out, you would be face to face at any moment with a dirtbag salesperson. "Hey, I know all there is to know about hiking, camping, fishing, surfing, you name it. If it's in the outdoors, I have it mastered." Me if I were a sucker. Really? Then I would pay $50 more. Heck, make it $100 for that tent. Hell no. I wouldn't even be in this situation if not for Bear Grylls, the guy from Man vs. Wild. Normally, I don't care about TV talking heads, but I'll take anyone serious who will drink water out of elephant shit. That's the commitment to the great outdoors I'm after. Survival in its raw and true form. I know I'm capable of gnawing a baby deer's jugular if starving in the woods. but I hoped deep down that I would never have to drink poop juice. Bear had shown me the way. I'm a watcher of people I respect, and this man had earned it. The camera only went down a split second while I was watching his show, but the thought jumped into my head loud and clear as he was eating a yak eyeball. I wonder what kind of shoes this guy wears. Then I see them. Confirmation landed. Merrells. They look like something a hip alien might wear, and as comfortable as sticking your foot in a warm pie from the first wear to the last. Get in a kicking fight with a kangaroo, stomp hippie necks all day long, or walk up a bear's back. You won't feel a thing or lose your footing while doing so. They've even got simple fasteners for you daft hipsters or retired crab fishermen that have lost too many fingers on boats. Hell, even if you're just plain lazy. There are no strings to tie, just slip your foot in and make things happen. It'll be a rough trip into the store, but I'm sure that you can see my obsessive force will overcome the fear of dealing with these camping supply pederasts. As we enter the store, we are zeroed in on instantly. A salesperson approaches us like we are small, cuddly animals she has never seen before. What she doesn't know is that we're badgers. She is bending over for the soft petting and is about to lose an arm. These outdoor R Us bluffers are supposedly all about being green, caring about Mother Earth, and being good to nature. Yet, they have the adequate gear. They have the hardcore gear to get you places no one has ever been before, helping you stomp some new paths and kick some nature ass. The store lady goes in for the petting. Can I help? Cut off. Never, I thought. Pass right by, hand covering the side of my face. Out of my way. I'll find my own seal clubber, thank you very much. Go, Sophie, go. These rotten atheists will seal our doom. Shoving her past is like trying to get a 4-year-old into the doctor's office for their annual shot. We have spoiled one of their attempts at wrecking my shopping experience, but the next jackal can't be far behind. These bastards are out for blood, scanning the horizon for fresh meat. I hope to be out of here before another encounter happens, but we need a few other things, and the probability no further confrontation is looking slim. Let's see. What else do we need? Sorry. Let's see. What else do we need to buy? Oh yeah, everything. We don't have anything yet. We plan to get most of our gear through Craigslist or from yard sales. But if this place had the right price on something we need, we will buy it and be done, taking the whereabouts of our purchases to our graves, of course. First, we approach the only possible racks that might fit into our budget, the clearance racks. The racks that the yuppies say, people with more money than common sense say, no way. If it wasn't good enough for someone else, then there's no way that it's good enough for me. Since I can afford this week's edition, then this week's edition is what I must have. The first of these clearance racks are cleverly located inside a large tent that is set up just to help you get that true outdoor feel. Inside the tent are backpacking packs, which will definitely be a necessity on the trip. We flip them and turn them. These things look quite nice, with built-in back massagers and cappuccino makers. Now what about the price? Finding the first price tag is a slap in the face of $150. Mind-boggling what poor sucker might have paid that price. But what of the clearance price? Just then, the portly outdoor expert that met us at the door shows up for round 2 and fills us in that those are in fact the clearance prices. She's probably thinking to herself, these poor white trash, they will never be able to afford a true adventure of any type. What are they doing here? I shudder at the thought of more help from this dream rapist and bringer of bad medicine. We need to be off. I grab Sophia's hand and back to it. Thanks, thank you. Anxiety strikes. This might have been a mistake. Are we in over our heads? We need to leave, but not without the shoes. No more dilly-dallying. upstairs and to the source. Precious sanity is being wasted down here. I am completely sober and it's short in supply. I start to notice as we go up the stairs just how many occupants are in the building. My chest tightens, but I hold strong. My chest tightens, but I hold strong. Some things we could buy used from the comforts of our home on the internet for a brief exchange. But used shoes are no different than used condoms to me. Shoes are assaulted by sweat and gunk, and something already sweated and gunked in cannot be cleaned completely. The shoe racks are extensive, and there is a salesperson seemingly by every rack. A meeting will be imminent. I am quick in grocery stores and can be in and out with an entire meal worth of groceries in 5 minutes paid for. Meat, veg, side, and lately, strong drink. Thank God for the self-checkout stands. I am efficient and swift when moving through the grocery store, and I have never liked at the end of the finish line to have a scowling sales clerk named Ron judging me for buying a 6-pack of beer with my eggs and bacon at 6 a.m., which is the starting time in Idaho for booze sales. The self-checkout computers are always short and to the point. Have you scanned your card today? Yes. I never liked the thought of Albertson's Grocery knowing my nutritional history, but the discount the card gave was too much to pass up. Do you have any coupons? No. Press the finish button. Cash goes in, change comes out, and I'm outside puffing 3 cigarettes, one after another, wiping the faces out of my mind. It would not be that easy in Outdoors R Us. They want people there personally to size you up. Sophia walks to the women's shoes, and I walk to the men's. Luckily for me, the salesman on my end is occupied, leaving me free to scan the rack. I eavesdrop on a conversation as I survey the shoe rack. Sales dick to brain dead slug. Yeah, so like these shoes should be perfect for you. I've owned at least 3 pairs myself. This guy was a true con Nazi. I know we will go head to head when, agony, my shoes are nowhere to be found. Sophia comes over and holds out a small pair of Merrells as I had sold her on the concept of these magic shoes earlier on. She has found a good pair on clearance. Good job, hon. Try 'em on. Any Merrell that fits you should fit like a glove from the first wear to the last. Just then, the slimy sales dick weasels up behind me, apparently listening in on a private conversation between husband and wife. Well, this guy seems to know his shoes. I wanted to drop him with the Vulcan neck pinch, collapsing him and making him void his bowels right on the sales floor. But before I could do so, I needed vital information. Where are the size 12 Merrell Chameleons? I asked, hoping he will turn around, run in back, grab him for me, getting us on our way. Sorry, bro. We're all out, but we could totally special order you some and have them in roughly 2 weeks. At these words, I wish the ORU trip could end right this second. But Sophie is content in trying on her new treasures. Despite my hatred for Outdoors R Us, I would never interrupt something as intimate as I had hoped this first Merrell experience would be for my wife. So I bend over and take the shaft. All right, bucko, here we go. What have you got to show me that's comparable? He goes straight for the most expensive shoes on the rack. These ones will cure plantar warts and clip your toenails as you walk. I can let this windbag blow hot air as long as needed, if it buys time for Sophie's shoe happiness. I don't want a different shoe, but this guy thinks he's good enough to sell me a sweater in the Sahara Desert. I've been a salesman a time or two. To him, I could just be an eccentric, tight-wadded millionaire. With the right words, he'd he'd cap me for a couple grand worth of commissions, awarding him his Employee of the Month picture up on the wall for 6 months consecutive running, earning him a shot at the new assistant manager's position. As he rants and raves about some brand names I can't even remember the name of, because I'm not listening, I see it. Something that looks very similar to the chameleon. Cutting him off mid-sentence, I say, "That one, size 12. Try not to trip on your tongue heading back there." I turn to Sophia. "What do you think?" "Yeah, I really like these ones." "Then box them up and let's get the hell out of here." Just when I think I see daylight at the end of the tunnel, we are blitzed by the female shoe sales lady. "What are you two doing?" I wanted to say that we had just joined a new group that smears oil back on baby seals and birds after shipwreck cleanups, and that we need good shoes that keep good footing when doing so. But Sophia beats me to the punch. "We're going on a really long backpacking trip." "Where are your toes at?" I want to say, "Where are your toes at?" "They're connected to her foot, now leave us alone." Sophia, dazed by the orgasmic sensation from her feet, dives in for a sales pitch swim. As I open my mouth to block the brainwashing that is about to take place, the sales dick is back again. He hands me the non-chameleons. Outdoors R Us's power is wearing me down. The next thing I know, I'm trying them on. The sales dick luckily spots fresh meat in the form of another customer, asks if I'm okay, and moves on to line up another sucker. Sophia comes back to me and says, "That lady says I need a shoe one size too big." "What the hell are you talking about?" "Well, she had me walk down that plastic mountain, and my toes touched the front of the shoe." Infuriated, I hopped up in the shoes I'm trying on. The lady squawks some nonsense about feet swelling, but I am too distracted and intrigued by the bogus excuse for a simulated downhill trail experience that is more pathetic to me than the tent simulation for outdoor hardships. This piece of rubber is going to, in their minds, show us how shoes are really going to feel on a 2-week hiking trip from a 3-foot-high, 6% downgrade kiddie slide? I turn to the lady. "One full size bigger?" She starts in again with the swelling talk, and it's too much. "Grab your shoes, hon, we're going." I kick off the chameleon wannabes in the direction of the racks, and back on with the sandals. Sales dick. "So did you, cut off? Not interested in my size, or a size bigger for that matter?" Sophie has a confused look on her face. She knows something set me off, but what? So I fill her in as we walk downstairs and towards the cashier. What a crock of horseshit. I've never heard of anything so stupid in my life. So until our feet swell, we're supposed to flop around in clown shoes? Give me a break. As I finish up with my mini tirade, a sparkling, shimmering gleam hits my eye, like a shiny new penny fresh out of the mint. But its sparkle is much more valuable, like that of a diamond. It's almost like hearing a hello from the voice of a long-lost friend. I put on the brakes and head straight to it, pulling Sophia behind me. It's a Gerber hatchet. One of my friends had this kind of hatchet. It was as sharp and as sturdy as they came. It'll be a perfect tool for this trip, good for cutting branches off trees or defending loved ones from freaks and wild animals in the woods. But it gets even better. It is a hatchet-knife combo with a knife sitting magnetically secured in the handle. How to scare Sophia into seeing that this was the tool for securing our well-being in the days ahead? First, I start with the logistics. Well, we're going to need some firewood and If we're starving, a knife would make an excellent fish cutter, and sure, I'm a tough guy, but there may be some real weirdos out there. At the time, I figured that I duped her good, but later on I realized she wanted me to have it, sales pitch or not. I also buy a Navy SEAL survival guide, and Sophie amuses herself with mental images of me building cougar traps and snaring myself suspended upside down from a tree. She's probably not far off, but I'm happy to have it anyways. We swipe the card, she gets her shoes, and I get my hatchet. As I open the door to head outside, I hear a tranquil and comforting voice I have never heard before. "Hello, Joe. My name is Gerber." "Hello, Mr. Gerber. I have a feeling we're going to be great friends, Joe." "Me too, Mr. Gerber. Me too." Sophia gives me a queer look, seeing me peering into the bag, with my lips moving and no words coming out. She must be thinking, "Poor fella, they really got to him in that store. He's going to sleep good tonight." The next day we meet up with a man by the name of Trevor to buy some gear he is advertising on Craigslist. He's in his late 30s with dark short hair and glasses, and he carries a disturbing amount of women's camping clothes, as well as some for me. We later wonder if things had deteriorated with the woman in his life, and maybe she just hadn't made it back from one of their trips. We acquire everything we need from this possible murderer, including a new tent, a pack for Sophia, water filters, rain gear, etc. I even find my chameleons at an opposing store for half the price of what I expected to pay. Then, at an army surplus store, we find sun hats that are quite possibly the dumbest looking hats I've ever seen. They even have a stupid name, Broner. I guess we're ready.